¿Cómo es que se llama? Este chico. Andrés. Empiezo con ellos dos. Nadie más llegó. No le importa. Trouble, trouble. Hi, man. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine, thanks. What about you?
Yeah, fine, fine. Just trying to get this thing to work, but it's not that simple. Just so that we have a lot of problems trying to get all the people in the conversation. So yes.
Yes,
What about you? How is Argentina, man? That's sounds like a very nice place to be. Um, is it?
yes.
It must be warm in Argentina now, or is
Yes,
it?
we are in summer, but right now it's not hot. It's a little cold.
Yeah, I know, I know. It's
Yesterday it was a little hot, but not too much. Just like 28 degrees.
there you go.
And
Yeah, but
here is 6:20 p.m. and the sun is still out.
yes.
Yes, it's crazy.
Let me see. There is another girl from the other group that she wants to join this group, but I don't know. I think she's having trouble to enter the call. Liliana could too.
I don't think so because it's not that hard to enter to the code.
Is it? Thank you very much. I did like 1,000 tests and it was really easy, but yesterday everyone got crazy about that. Something like nobody could get in. Oh gosh. Anyway, where do you
Can you repeat, please?
which part?
The last part, where are you? You say?
Oh no, I'm no, I'm actually when I write, I read. I'm trying to write to this girl so she can.
Okay.
Uh, yes.
So how your week is going?
Tiring. I'm really really tired now. I don't know because I had like a couple of translations to do yesterday, and I sometimes it's really nice because it's good money, but it's sometimes it's too much work and I don't I don't have much patience. I don't like translating, especially text translating. Interpreting is good. Interpreting that's what we're talking about yesterday. Like interpreting is kind of fun, but translating, don't know. It's just like
Boring.
boring. I just like what I do because I'm working for women organizations, and they are working for or they're fighting for women's rights and minority rights. So I think it's a good cause. So it keeps me motivated because I don't really like translating or text translating. Interpreting is another thing. It's much more fun, and as far as I heard, is much better paid.
Yes.
Uh,
At the
so
end of the day, an interpreter doesn't have nothing to do at home, but the
yeah.
translator have amounts of things to do, translate, looking for the right word to put in the
Yeah,
document.
yeah, and sometimes it's really saturating. Like I sometimes like I have to yeah to stand up and get off the house, and I just need to go and walk a little bit. to clear my mind, to get some distance from the document. Because I actually studied text translation before I started English teaching, and I really I really like it. But and I learned tons of techniques and things. But yeah, it's not my thing, you know. I studied that for 2 years, and I like not my
I
thing.
don't know if it's because I don't do it often, but when I do translations, I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. True. I don't know. These last texts, they were really long, like 20 something pages, and they gave me really little time, and I was a little bit upset about that. Like, why did you leave this for the last moment? Um, so, and I'm never comfortable charging for a rush fee. You know what a rush fee is?
No,
Rush fee.
rush fee. I
Rush.
know what is fee, but I don't know what is rush.
Well, rush is rush. When you're in a rush, it's because you need. How do you explain rush without using the translation? For example, when you have little time and a lot of things to do, you are in a rush. You are really and you're anxious and you, yeah, like that.
Ah, I know. It's
Okay,
like hurry.
like hurry. Yes, thank you. I should have thought of of the synonym in
I just
English.
look in the Google Translator.
Hurry, yes, that's my man. Yeah, that's what we. That is that's why the tools are for, you have to use them. It's no problem. I don't think this girl is having much how do you say is having much luck getting into the conversation. I don't know why. She says it reports an error, and I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out this. um so just
Is she there?
is she is she what?
Is she there? Is she in the call?
No, no, she's
Yeah,
not. No, you'll see her. You'll see her when she's in the call. But
I see a little square with her name.
I'll send. How did you get in? How did you get in? Did you get in with the link or did you get in with the invitation?
Yes, I opened the link that you sent me to through Skype, and it opened, and I clicked the um, well, I just accept it.
Okay, very good. It's very simple. Some people reported that the link was not very that well. Some people reported errors trying to sign in with the link. And some people said it was easier with the link than with the invitation
With
through.
the link, it's pretty easy. She just has to click it, and that's all, and accept the terms and next.
There you go. I don't know. I'm just
Right.
gonna try. I'm gonna send the invitation again, and I'm gonna send the link again. Let's see if she's able to make it. Name is. Oh, forgot her name. No, no.
But she wrote hello.
She what? What?
I think she's in the call. She wrote
Okay, she's
hello in
okay.
the chat.
She's Liliana. Hi, how are you? I haven't checked. Hello.
Hi, teacher.
How are you? Oh, thank God, man. I thought I was going to be left by myself because yesterday actually there was another student who actually asked me, sorry, helped me a lot, assisted me with the with the tech support because I didn't know how they were working in the other side, and she was doing what you were doing, um, mm, Andres. That you were telling me what did you do, how did you get in the conversation, and there was this girl, and she was helping me at tons with it. Okay, okay. I don't think anyone has answered anything in either by Skype or yeah, by Skype or WhatsApp. So I don't. I think we're gonna be just the three of us for today. Well, Liliana, you are from the other group, but don't worry, we're gonna do the same thing. It's like a short introduction to topics and introduction of ourselves and hobbies, and the drill. Not it's not much different than anything. So let's start introducing. I'm going to introduce myself because I think I haven't. Even in the interviews, I don't think I really said who I was or what I was doing here. So basically, my name is Camilo. I've been a teacher for over 10 years. I don't know. I think 10, 12. I don't really. I don't keep tabs with that. And I have. Well, have you heard the expression that sometimes 50 years of experience is just 1 year repeated 50 times? Sometimes the amount of years doesn't mean that I'm experienced. I really think that my experience began like 5 years ago when I started trying new things. Because the first 5 years, I was doing these, I was teaching English just just to get by, just trying to get to get through with the classes and just get paid, and that's it. So 5 years ago I started like getting really interested in the whole thing. I started studying pedagogics and all these things, and I became a really enthusiastic with this, and I had the chance to start working with smaller groups, which allowed me to try new methodologies and strategies, and I they were trying what was effective or what was yeah, actually efficient, which resources could be efficiently used in class. And I start making progress as a teacher, and my students start making progress with their English. So I just can say that 5 years ago is just all the experience that I really have, because yeah, back then it was just something to get by. Just I figure I speak English, well, I should teach English. That was the logic in the whole thing. And now I really like pedagogics, not only for English, but I'm really interested in education. So I think it changed the game. That change of attitude and that change of perspective. So that's it. I've been doing this for a long time, and I have making progress just like 5 years ago or 3 years ago. um, I lived in London. I lived in London for 3.5 years, and I studied a couple of courses at the community college, like philosophy and art, and that's it. It's pretty much all the education that I got in London. I was mainly working, so I wasn't really looking for a course there or for education there because it was very expensive. And then I came back to start working. I started studying text translation. I graduated from that, so I studied IT, computers, and things like that because I didn't know anything about that. Um, what else? I start actually before I was studying the Bachelor of Arts in teaching English as foreign language. I was studying psychology at UNAT too. So as soon as the program, yes,
She
okay,
left.
she
She
left.
left.
Yeah, I know she left. I don't know why. I don't know, because yesterday another guy also left. But I think it was hey,
Well, no matter the last class, you didn't mention that you studied psychology.
I didn't I?
No,
Um,
and I heard that you studied 2 years of translation.
yeah, probably no, I didn't mention today. Well, yeah, I also forgot. It's I've studied many things over the years. Since it's very difficult to understand what it says. Don't worry, just let me. This guy got a little bit discouraged. Um, worry, worry. Let's speak slower. Promise. She said that I speak to that I always she didn't understand. And oh my god, sorry, it was not my intention to intimidate anyone. I promise I'll speak slower, slowlier. Actually, that was a mistake. Um, um,
She's
okay,
back.
let's hope she's back. I don't know. Anyway, oh Jesus, I didn't want her to leave. Come on, girl, go back in. There, please, please come back in. Come back, come back in.
Do
Please
you
come.
know that you are the only teacher that motivates the students to get in the calls, in the encounters?
Oh, really? I thought it was mandatory. No, but I really want people to come in because although it's easier to have like one-to-one conversation, or the better said, the smaller the groups, the easier it is for the teacher. But I also like the challenge of trying to get these conversations or sorry, these interactions that could be pedagogical and because I know it's difficult.
The
uh
other, I have another encounter uh, at 8 to 9, and here in Argentina is to 10 to 11. And that teacher, she says that if the students doesn't have a good connection
yeah.
and don't get into the call.
Oh, yeah, do they? Well, that's a little bit how do you say this, excluding, don't, isn't it? Yeah, like, yeah, if you don't have a good connection, then don't get in. Well, I don't know. Just that we have a couple of problems with connection. There was a guy who was trying, he was there
And
was a
they
student.
don't, then they don't wait for the other students.
But just that
They have to be
there
on the
was
call.
there was a student that there was a student that was he was connecting from a cell phone, so from a cell phone, so it was a little bit tricky, and there was a lot of noise, and there was troubles with the connection, but actually we could pull it off. um so good. So yes. Okay. Anyway, I study English. I've been a teacher for a long time. That's a brief summary. Let's start with this introductions about yourselves. Very short, like your name, um, what do you do for a living, or what are you doing at the moment, your hobbies, family, or whatever you want to talk about yourself. So just go ahead. Uh, Liliana, thank you very much for coming back. I was feeling left behind. So please, thank you very much. Well, let's start with you, Liliana. Do you want to start? Um, uh, just state your name and your hobbies and what do you like, your English experience, education, semester at the UNAD or whatever. Liliana, Go ahead, Liliana. Don't go. Liliana, are you there? Liliana, I can hear you. I don't know. Maybe just
Yeah, you may check the microphone.
yeah. Well, but it's on actually. A little bit
Okay.
tricky. Is yes. Hi, Liliana. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me just say. Hear me. Okay. You.
Teacher, this happen in all your classes? I mean, not all the participants come to the call?
Yeah. Actually, yesterday we had only the group was about 7 people and only 4 people came. So yeah, giving or taking, just that. Some people couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I think. Ah, gosh, don't go.
What's wrong with her?
I don't know. I hope she's not. I don't know. I don't want her to go.
Maybe she's shy? Is she
Probably.
shy?
Yeah. Well, I am
Tell
shy.
her don't be shy. We are
Nobody's
here to
shy. Nobody's shyer than me. I am probably the most shy person. The shyest person ever. But I don't know. I try to. Well, I start when I start teaching. I was well. I've always been a very shy person, and I think when I start teaching English, I was as shy as I am now. But teaching gave me this. It's not that I got confident because I'm only confident when I'm when I'm in front of people and
look.
teaching something that I know. So
Last year, last year was the first time that I was in that real environment of teaching. Though I didn't tough my subject English, I thought Spanish because it was in the last 2 months of the year because when the Spanish teacher she had a surgery and in the school they couldn't find a teacher who replaced her, so they contact me, and I went to the school, and the manager of the school told me that here you got all the students and go and teach them what you have to teach to them, and they didn't tell me that I mean they didn't give me the plan the teaching
lesson
plan,
plan.
the lesson plan,
Yeah,
and even they told me teach them English, and I say like, oh my god, how I'm going to teach them English if they already had the English teacher and they needed Spanish. So I was very shy because I had to start with the 11th course
yeah.
after
The
8
11th
and
grade. The 11th
the
grade.
11th after 8 and 10, and they were almost like of my tall, and I don't know, I was very shy, I was very nervous, I was trembling, but thank God everything came good, and I think they liked me.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I think teaching is a performing craft. It's a it's an acting craft actually, because yeah, I am not as sociable as I am when I'm teaching English, and I think like I'm like an actor, and I feel more confident. But it's just while I'm teaching. I think it's just like actors. Yeah, like I think acting is very similar to teaching.
Yes.
Despite obviously the objectives of acting and teaching are
It
extremely
was very
uh,
sad when they used to do jokes to me like flittering to me in class and all those stuff.
flirting, flirt,
Flirt.
that's flirt, flirting. Okay. Also, you say they contact me, and the correct verb is hired. Hire.
Okay.
I think I wrote it like hire. The verb is
Yes,
hire.
you
Contratar.
hire.
Hire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
But
Liliana is back. Thank God. And Lily, can
here,
you make a small introduction about yourself and your on your expectations about the course, and I don't know, whatever you want to talk about actually. Lily, can you hear me? I don't know if I don't know if she can hear me. Um, let me see. Hmm. Okay. Lily. Okay.
Hi, teacher.
Hi,
Hi.
Liliana. How are you? How are you doing? Are you okay? Are you fine? Liliana, can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? Liliana,
ask her to type
Liliana,
in the message.
yeah. Really, where are you? Where are you from?
Eh,
Where are you from?
I, I am from El Paso.
Are you from Pasto? So is my dad. So is my dad. My father is from Pasto. Pasto? Yeah. I think my father is from Pasto. I know. He's from Nariño, but he's actually from Ipiales. He was born in Ipiales. Um.
I want to
Okay.
go to Ipiales.
Yeah. Well, it's very cold. It's extremely cold, and so is Pasto.
It's true that
Liliana,
sorry,
it's
it's
okay.
true that if I go to that big church and when I leave, I have to do it um, looking to the front of it and not giving the back to it.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I was baptized there, but I
Was
was
what?
baptized. Baptism when they pour water on your is like a Catholic rite. When they name you, they gave your name is a Catholic rite, and yeah, I think I was baptized there, but I can't remember. I was like 2 years old. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
remember. Okay, Lily. Who do you live? Do you live in Pasto, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. How old are you?
What?
How old are you? How old are you?
I not understand.
Your age. Yeah, age.
Not.
No.
I,
Uh,
I am 27 years old.
50. How much? Can you repeat, or can you write it if you want? If you can type if you want. You can type it if you want.
I am 27 years old.
27 years old. Okay, you're very young people, and I am not. I feel older with you all. My students are so young. Okay. So another question for Liliana. Did you study, or are you working at the moment, or both?
Uh, I am study.
Okay. Are you studying English at NAT?
Yes, yes.
Good.
I'm not.
Which
I not work.
You're not working. You're not working. Okay. Was gonna ask you something else. Oh, yeah. Which semester? Which semester? Semester are you at? Which semester are you at?
I
Which,
am in the seventh semester.
I'm gonna I'm gonna correct my mistake if I made a mistake. Which semester are you? Forgot the subject. Are you at? Okay, seventh semester. Good, excellent. Do you live with your family? Do you live with your family?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Um, uh, I don't know. Andres, ask
Yes.
Liliana if she's ask her if she's married.
Liliana, are you married?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Ask
Do
her.
you
Ask
have
her.
kids?
Okay. Very good. Do you have kids?
I not understand.
Do you have children? Boys or girls? Sons or
Yes.
daughters? Okay. How many? Ask her how many, Andres.
How many kids or children do you have?
How many? One, two, three. How many kids do you have?
Two boys or one boy or two girls or one boy and a girl?
Really? Did you understand? Did you? Okay. So, Liliana, can you ask me the same question? Can you ask me if I am married? Ask me. Pregúntame si estoy casado. Can you ask me if I'm married?
Um, you are married?
Okay. Are you? You have to do the inversion of the verb and the subject. Okay. Are you married?
Are you married? Married?
Very good. Excellent. I am not married. I am not married. Ask me if I have children. Ask me that question. Lily, are you there? Okay. I'm gonna ask Andres a couple of questions. Andres, are you married?
No, I'm not. I'm single.
I'm single. Very good. Ask me if I have a girlfriend.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Very good. Uh, yes, I do. Um, why do we have to say I have a girlfriend and we cannot say like in Spanish, do you have girlfriend? That's incorrect. Why? Do you remember? This is just a small is a rule of grammar actually that doesn't allow it.
Can
Um,
you repeat the question?
yeah. Do you know why we should ask, do you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? But you have to add the article, the indefinite article, like a boyfriend, a girlfriend. Because in Spanish we don't say that. It's like tienes novia, no tienes una novia. Okay?
Mhm.
But in English you need to say a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband. Or, yeah.
Actually, I don't know why.
Very good. But you know, you don't need to know. It's a simple rule about countables and uncountables. Anytime you have
um, it's funny because I was just about to ask you when, yes, when I have to use any or much to control and uncountable because I don't remember good. For example, uncontrol like water, sand, I use many, many, much, or any.
yes. The thing is, those are adverbs of quantity or quantifiers, they call them. And some of them are specific to countable, some of them are specific to uncountable adverbs. Sorry, uncountable nouns, and some of them are good for both. Those are the best. Like for example, a lot of or lots of. You can say lots of water, fine. Lots of people, fine. Lots of apples, good. Lots of milk, it's the same. So you can use them either for countables or uncountable nouns. And there are some yeah, adverbs of quantity that only can only be used for either countable or uncountable. Um, so, for example, little is just for uncountable things. So you can say little, a little milk, little milk or a little milk. But you cannot say a little apples. Yeah, you have. Well, it means that they are small, but it's not the same. You have to say few. Few cannot be
Yes.
used. That's it. And but the rule I was talking about, it was like with countable nouns, there is a rule of thumb that says that you cannot use countable nouns singular that without an article. You have to put either a definite or indefinite article or a possessive. You can say I have a friend. You can say I have the best friend, or I have my friends, or yeah, I love my friend or something like that. You can not leave friend because it's countable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. You cannot leave him without or you cannot use them without an article or a possessive. So it's a simple rule. And another common mistake that people said, because we said it differently in English, is for example the professions. Like we say in Spanish, you can say soy una enfermera, soy enfermera, and that's fine because in Spanish the professions are adjectives or can be used as adjectives, but in English you can't. In English they are only
Yeah, my
nouns,
nerds.
and as they are nouns and they are countable, then you have to use an article, either one. So you have to say I am a nurse, I am an engineer, I am a teacher, I am a student. So it's not correct to say I am teacher. That sounds horrible. But you can't say that. That's the main point. So it's small things, because sometimes we said that and we don't know what. Plural is fine. I have friends. That's fine. You can leave it without articles. And uncountable nouns. Yeah, you can leave them without an article. You can say I like milk. Perfect. I like water, no problem. So that's that thing. Okay, Liliana, are you there? Are you there, Lily? Are you back with us? Okay, one more
Repeat.
question for yeah. Are you there? Okay, good. Um, how old are your children? How old are your children?
Yes.
Okay, how old are your children? Children, little, really tired.
Um, he's called Alejandro.
Okay,
He's 1 years old.
how many years? Sorry,
He's 1 years old.
Alejandro is 1 year old. Perfect, good. And how many kids do you have? Only Alejandro, or do you have another child?
Repeat, please.
Do you have just Alejandro, or do you have another child? He has. Does he have a brother or a sister?
Uh, then not. Uh,
No, just Alejandro. So he's an only son. Hijo único, right? Hijo único, an only son.
sí.
Okay, good. Yes, right. Okay. Are Andres, are you an only son, or do you have brothers and or sisters?
No, I have more. I have siblings,
Very good, siblings. Okay, good.
but I'm the junior,
I'm
I'm
the youngest.
smaller,
Yeah, the
the,
youngest. Okay,
the youngest.
very good. I am. I am an only son from my mother. I have two half sisters so far. I have
Okay.
two half sisters. Uh, one of them, she lives in France, and the other one lives in Cali. She's from Cali. So yes, the youngest
Uh, okay.
lives in Cali, and the eldest lives in Carcassonne in France, in the south of France. So yes,
From my
uh,
mom, I have four siblings. My brother, he's a painter.
a painter.
One
Very interesting.
one of, well, not painter of artists. He paints houses.
Well, it's art. Just
kind
do art,
kind of.
kind of
My
art.
sister, well, my brother got have one daughter. She's 3 or 4 years old. I don't remember. My one of my sisters, she have three daughters, and she works for her father in bread shop, panadería.
Oh yeah, in a well, you say bakery, bakery. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Ba-
in a bakery.
yes.
And my other sister, she got one girl, and she is not working. She's living with my mother, and she lived like 3 months in Bogota, and lost her the paper the papers of her high school.
Okay, that's
And from my father, my other girl, she died when she was 10 years old.
Oh,
She got
I,
born in an explosion
she was.
of she
Can you repeat
died
that? Okay.
she died in an explosion.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man, that's tragic. But that's very unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear
Yes.
that, man. It's a sad
And
thing.
from my father, I have a lot of siblings. I don't know them all.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, it's nice to have a lot of brothers and sisters, siblings. Yes.
But
I
it's nice when the siblings are from mother and father, but when are from just one parent, it's not good at all because we all arise with different cultures and maybe well at least with my other siblings from my father they think that they are more than my my sibling from my mother and I, so I
okay.
don't like them a lot.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I didn't grow up with my sisters. We grew up separately. We were raised we were raised separately. Um, by our mothers. So we didn't we get on well, very well, actually. It's amazing that we get on well that good, because we never lived together. We have never lived together. But we get get on well, get on well, or get along, get
Okay,
along.
get along.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, or probably is that is why we get we get along so well, because we haven't lived together. Probably that's the reason. I'm
Well,
not.
I didn't live uh, together. I didn't rise together with my other siblings. I met them when I was like 15 years old. But some of them they are just wait, prepotents. Yes, prepotent. They are just prepotent and
Prepotent and
when I was in last year of high school, I do you know that have you heard that people say that the blood cold the blood cold
the blood
the
and
blood
blood.
wait blood calls
Okay, blood
la
calls.
sangre llama.
Blood,
Well,
blood,
during
blood
blood,
calls.
okay. During fall this year, we used to staring at each other, but we never say hello or anything. But at the in the day of the graduation, my mother say, "Hey, she's your sister." So I knew it, I noticed you were my sister in the ceremony of graduation.
That's a nice surprise. My actually my father does a these are really messed up stories, but I'm gonna tell it. My father actually,
Then
I was 3 days, I was 3 days away from leaving Colombia to London, and just 3 days before my travel, my trip, he called me up and put her on the phone. And he said, "Oh, well, she's your." Oh no, I think he said, "Say hello to your sister" or something. He put her on the phone, and I was like, and
oh,
she was like 6 years old, and she was like just a little baby, and and she was so sweet, and I couldn't say anything. I had to take I had to take a bus and travel to Cali to meet her before I left to London. So So it was a really strange story. I don't know. Probably my father thought I was never coming back from from London, and he said, "Well, let's introduce her. They are brothers or something." I don't know what was going through my father's head. Anyway, I met my sister like 3 days 3 days before I left Colombia for London.
Wow.
Uh, yes, I was quite surprised. But yeah, they like surprises, as you know, parents. Okay. I was gonna ask you. Oh yeah, but before we go on, you say I didn't raise with her or with them, and raise the correct way is to say I wasn't raised with using the passive because uh, when you raise someone, it means you educate him or you nurture him to be a grown up. So if you want to do it for yourself, you should use the passive, like I wasn't raised, I was not raised, or we
Okay.
were not raised together. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So let's get down to business. I'm gonna show you if I can find the file because I have been having problems trying to find the file. I'm gonna show you like the suggested syllables, like the suggested program plan that we have for this semester or for this course, and I'm gonna show you some of the topics. Yesterday with group B, we had some inclusions. We actually added some topics and clarify what we know about the topics suggested for this course. And I'm gonna show you in a second as soon as I find it because I think I lost it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's here. It's here. Okay. So yeah. So okay. Yeah, I thought I had lost it. Because yesterday we did some some additions and some clarifications about the topics, um, and and I thought I had lost those notes, but I haven't. I usually lost things. I usually lose things. Sorry, I usually lose things, but not today. Okay. There, there you go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Uh, these are not the screen I wanted to show you. But anyway, sorry, that was not the one. I think it's this one. Okay, I think it's this one. Yes, this is the one. Okay, so these are the topics for supposedly the first unit. Can you see it? And I
Yes,
want
sir.
to. Okay, so I think it's not one. Like, okay, so the first topic actually is quantifiers. Actually, what we oh my god, what you were asking me about the the quantifiers or the adverbs of quantity. Okay. Um, Can you all see the screen? Yes.
Yes, I can. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So we have the quantifiers. It says two and enough, but I think we have to see them all. Okay. So many and much, and little, little and few, and many others, and especially the ones who can be used with the with either with both both countables and uncountables, like lots, lots of, very British this one, and a lot of, more American. Um, plenty of, plenty, plenty of. Also, it can be used with both. Plenty of water or plenty of people. Uh, that can shouldn't be that. Okay. Uh, just a question. Can you see what I'm writing on the screen? No.
No,
No. Okay, it's just a static. I'm
I
gonna try.
thought you were sending us a message to the group chat.
Yes, but I try to do. I'm gonna try to do this again. If I can do it, I'm gonna share the whole screen to see if I can the infinite. I love that infinite.
Oh my God, so many.
Yeah. No, it's just because okay. Can you see can you see my
Yes,
screen now? Okay, so
yes, I do.
I add all these. Can
Many,
you see
much,
that I changed?
little, and few, lots of, a lot of,
Okay.
plenty of.
Could you see that I changed the color of it?
Yes, I do.
So now it's red, right?
Yes, it's right.
Okay, very good. Excellent. So now we know that that's the only way I can show you when I'm doing some changes in the documents or in the windows actually. And well, that's that we I want to practice this topic with the recipes because I really like cooking. So and recipes are good. Cooking recipes are really good for practicing these quantifiers. Okay, like you have to say a lot of tomato sauce or lots of tomatoes, but you can only say um, much tomato sauce, but many tomatoes. Okay, but only many tomatoes and things like that. We are gonna practice some of those quantifiers with those, and also we can practice the sequencers or
Please
the.
wait a second.
Okay,
Please, sorry.
okay, no problem.
Here. I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Uh, was that your ringtone?
What?
Was that your ringtone?
No,
Oh,
my friend's phone.
okay, good. Because
They were to the next floor and leave everything here.
okay, right. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna practice that with a recipe. I think it's a good way to do it. It's a fun way to do it, and we can practice many of the ingredients and verbs. Cooking verbs. Cooking verbs are really interesting because there are some verbs in English that don't exist in Spanish. Like for example, simmering.
Sim-
Yeah,
Simmer.
simmering. Simmer means exactly means to keep a liquid, to heat up a liquid. Could be water, could be a soup, could be a stew. Below, just below the boiling point.
Heat up, calentar.
Yes, a liquid, usually a liquid, a stew es un guisado o una salsa, a stew, a sauce, a soup, below, just below the boiling point. So it's not boiling; it's just below it's just below the boiling point. Okay, how do you say this in Spanish? Sí, es como mantener algo apenas por debajo del punto de ebullición. Y ellos tienen un verbo para eso. Simmer. Anyway, so and there are so many other verbs and actions that we is fun. I hope it's going to be. I hope so.
Hotter, the hottest.
Okay, so comparatives and superlatives. Well, there is not much to say. I think we're gonna talk about people that we know or famous people to compare them. We can talk about our cities. You can talk about now. For how long are you gonna be in Argentina?
um, just 1 week. I leave this Saturday.
Okay, I live. You're coming back to Colombia.
Yes, I don't want to.
You have to. You have to come back to
Yes,
Colombia.
I do.
Okay. So so yes, we can compare city. Which city are you? Buenos Aires?
Yes,
No,
sir, Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires. So you can compare Buenos Aires with with Bogota, for example. Like, or which is colder, Buenos Aires or Bogota?
Right now, Bogota is colder. It's colder.
Okay, so we can do a dynamic when I ask you, well, if Bogota is colder than Buenos Aires now, it means that Buenos Aires is less cold than Bogota. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. Or you can say also that Buenos Aires is not as cold as Bogota. So we can practice the more than, less than, and as as much as something else. So
Okay.
it's a good way to practice the structure because sometimes you know the the formulation, but actually when you speak out, sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes I make mistakes. That we need to practice those apparently simple structures sometimes are the ones we which we more make mistakes at. So sometimes it's good so we can do that with comparative. We can compare the cities, people that we know or famous people also, countries, things like that. Relative clauses. Oh my god, this is so difficult. It's not difficult. Actually, it's very simple. But when you explain the grammar behind relative clauses and relative pronouns, it's so complicated. Like, like I see, like people understand it very well, but when I try to explain the grammar behind those structures, people get really confused and they stop
Used to
understanding.
happen.
Yeah, sometimes just don't explain it. They use it correctly. Don't explain the grammar because sometimes it's really confusing, and this is one of these cases. Like usually people are in lower intermediate levels. They are already using relative pronouns. Uh, yeah, let's say correctly or mostly correctly, and but if you try to explain the grammar behind it, like independent clauses and dependent clauses and relative pronouns and necessary relative pronouns, that, who, where, which. Just 1 second, sorry. Just one
No
second.
worries.
I'll be back in just a
Okay,
moment.
take it.
Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Um, I'm back. So yeah, sometimes it doesn't help to explain the grammar, and I think we should leave this topic for the end of the for the end, like in unit three. We have 3 units, so let's check out the second unit. Let's check out the second unit. Okay, second unit is about simple past, all right, or past in general. Okay, so we have simple past, the rules, the auxiliary verb, or the auxiliary verb because there is only one, and formulation, the formulation. When I say the formulation, it means the structure or the word order. That's what I
The
mean.
word what?
Word order, word order,
Okay.
word order. I'm gonna. I'll try to pronounce a little bit more British. Sorry, a little bit more American. 'Cause sometimes they get really. Uh, I stumble my words sometimes when I try to keep my the British pronunciation of some words. Okay, so the formulation when I said is the word order or the structure of the sentence. So I mean question, inversions, and auxiliary verb, and that kind of thing. That kind of morphosyntactic morphosyntactic structure. Okay, and then we have to obviously we have to talk about regular and irregular verbs, which as far as we know about irregular verbs, then you have to learn it by heart. Um, let's say how do I do this?
By what?
I Okay, I'm gonna write it. We have to learn it by heart.
Okay, by heart.
Okay.
But it is like I translated in my head the corazón or
Yes,
not.
actually, it means that, but it means memorize. It means memorize. Okay. Learn something
Okay.
by heart
So
means
when we say me lo sé de memoria, we say I know it by heart.
I know it by heart. Yes, perfect. That's a good expression. I learn it by heart. I know it by heart. Okay, or I know it by heart.
Sometimes English is very confusing and crazy, and I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't have sense in Spanish.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make
It
sense.
doesn't make sense in Spanish.
No, it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, especially because some of these expressions they are cultural expressions, so they change depending on the culture. Like for example, no, I can't think of any example which is purely a matter of culture. For example, I had
Yes,
one good example, culture and
the
linguistics.
other the other day I was watching a video in YouTube that it says a word and in the United States means something and in British in UK means another thing. But I don't remember that word.
Yeah, well, yes. Well, there are many cases when that happens. Um, okay. Another thing that we have to practice is the pronunciation of the regular ones, of the regular verbs, like the last ed. So, for example, we usually have or we can usually see or hear the mistake, like they say instead of saying worked, they say work it, because they don't know the rules or they haven't heard enough the by context. Um, but I think it's mainly just a matter of remember a couple of rules or remember the consonants that usually are correspond to each pronunciation, or maybe.
Actually, actually, I don't know all those rules. The thing that I do is just to imitate how they speak.
Yes, well, that's the idea. That's how you learn. That's the way a little kid learn. Um, Usually it's just the way the kids learn. So no, you don't have to teach rules about Spanish subjunctive for kids, and they understand it, and I don't, and they know they can use subjunctive very well. And but if you try to explain that kind of grammar, it gets a little bit more complicated. So in this case, there is a simple an easier rule. Once is you can memorize this the consonant or the last sound consonant that you must pronounce with either t, the, or it at the end. Okay, so one is the remember there x, sh, um, p's, the p sound and the k sound, the s sound are pronounced with t, and consonants like L, M, N, B, V are pronounced with D sound. Okay, so this is
Something like the phonetics.
like the phonetics that you need to know which consonants are vibrational or yeah, vibrational, or and which are silent or occlusives, or I don't know. You've seen the course. You study the course on phonetics, and don't we all? And that is one way to do it, or the easier ways, or the easiest for me, or the one I learned. It was just to place your fingers here. This is silly, and probably is going to be very silly if you do it during a conversation. But if you place your fingers under your jaw or on your neck, it actually and you elongate or you make longer the last consonant of the verb in the base form, uh, and the fingers tickle, which means they vibrate. Then you use D. If it doesn't tickle, it means it's not vibrational. Then it means that goes with T. So if you place your fingers here and you say, "Oh, besé a una chica ayer," I kiss, and you elongate that last S sound, and there is no vibration because S doesn't have any vibration. Then you will know that kiss in past will be pronounced with T at the end. So I kissed a girl yesterday.
Like the song.
Um,
I kissed a girl and I
I
liked
kissed
it.
a girl. I liked it. Yeah, I was thinking about that one. Uh, so yeah, that's one way. For example, you say I call la llamé ayer. I call, and you put your
I
fingers
call.
under your jaw and you say L because it's
I
call,
call.
and it tickles a little bit your fingers. Then it means that it goes with D. Okay, so
I
it's
call.
cold. I called her. I called her last night. Okay, I called her last night.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm gonna ask you something before I forget it.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Um,
Shoot away.
when I use learn and learned.
Learned and learned. Um,
Yes.
I don't think there is a right question for that. There's a right answer for that because I think it's very cultural. I think learned is a is either regular and irregular in America. Okay, like if you go to the United States, you can say learned and you sound a little bit formal, and you can say learned and it's okay. There is no problem. That's perfectly
Okay, I can use it
either.
in
You can use either way in America. in England they are a little bit more sticklers for the T sound at the end. Like learn for them is a irregular verb, so they will say learned.
So
Um,
I can say I learn English by doing, and I learned English by doing. Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah. Well, I would say yes, yes, perfectly right. I mean, it is accepted uh, for both as a regular and irregular verb. And there's a
Okay.
two other verbs that they have that they can be used as regular or irregular, and it's not it's not a big deal. Like I said, in England, it's much more acceptable to say only learned, but in America, you can use either, and no problem. Okay, what else? Okay,
Sorry,
and then
another
no, is
is
the and the easiest group because then you have the T group, the one with are pronounced with T at the end, and the ones are pronounced with D at the end, and then you have the ones that are pronounced with ET at the end. So where the ed at the end is pronounced eat, and those are the easiest one because are the ones who end in T, either in T or in D, because you cannot add T or D to those verbs. So if you say needs, you cannot add another D. It wouldn't sound. It wouldn't make a sound, and then you have to say needed. Okay, you have to add this vowel sound. So you have to say needed, and you cannot say start and add another consonant because you won't make a sound, and then you have to add the vowel sound e. And so I started studying, or I started practicing kickboxing yesterday, or something like that, or something interesting yesterday. Okay, so we'll go through those. We'll go through those, and we also gonna watch the the some of the spelling rules. Okay, so before adding ed, there are some words that are they need to be the last consonant needs to be duplicated or doubled, like in the case of stop or tap or stop. Okay, and what else? Some others won't, like ed. You don't have to do it. Um, and there are these are the easy ones, and then you have the ones who the verbs that ends in y. Sorry, the gosh, the ones who end in y. Yes. So some of them you just have to add ed, and some of them you'll have to change the y um, for an I. Sorry, for an I, and then you can add ed. Is the case of cry. That's correct. That the correct way is pride. Okay, so you change this 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 consonant. Sorry, this vowel sound. You need to change this. Okay, but there are other verbs like play that
like
wouldn't change. Okay, you just add ed. That's it. Okay. This is a simple rule. In this case, it's a very simple rule. If the cry, if sorry, if the y is preceded by a consonant, then you have to change it for an I. If the vowel, if the y is preceded by a vowel, then you leave the y as it is and just add ed at the end. Okay, that's pretty much the main explanation. These rules are easy with the verbs that end in y. These ones, to know either the last consonant needs to be duplicated or doubled. This is a little bit more tricky. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll send you the rules, and we'll practice it. No problem. But I think it's more important because I think that the spelling you will learn it. You know, you will know, you will intuitively know which is the correct spelling for a word if you read, if you write, if you practice your English, your written and your reading English. You will intuitively know which is the correct spelling. The same way that you know many. I don't. For example, the orthographic accents in Spanish. I know there are rules for that, and I don't know any of those rules. And I know which words go with an orthographic um, accent, tilde, because I've read and I've written and the word correctly, the word program corrected. So that's probably the same way, you know, these kind um, of rules by heart. You learn them not by heart but by usage. Okay, past progressive. There's not much to say about past progressive. We can do a small practice about past progressive and disconnectors. While, okay, and when. I was cooking when she came in. She was sleeping while I was studying. Okay, and there are many others, but there are so many rules that it's not worth it. The best way to remember how to use these connectors between past progressive and past simple is to use them the same way as you use them in Spanish, because they are almost the same and they imply the same things. So I think one
Teacher,
of the,
I
yes.
I realize that I'm starting to think in English when I'm speaking in Spanish and I'm about to say a word and I don't know how to express it, but in English I have the right word for it.
So yeah, sometimes I have the right word in English, or simply I'm just sometimes someone asks me something and they ask me in Spanish and I
Sorry,
answer.
I can't understand.
That kind of well, you know, the people who study this, they call it interference. That is when the two languages are making like a shortcut, and they overlap and interfere with each other when you are speaking. So sometimes when I am listening,
Teacher, sorry, I can understand because the signal is losing.
okay, just let it let it.
The signal is very bad. I can understand anything of what you're saying. Hello?
Let let the signal get steady. Okay. Um. Yes, a little bit. Yes. So you can. I'm gonna show you a little bit more about the. Okay. What as perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Better. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Now, can you please tell me what you were saying when I asked you the last question?
Yeah. I really have a really short attention span. Um, I think I was talking about interference. Yeah, interference. That's what you call when English and Spanish, or your first language and your second language, interfere with each other, and then you start speaking people, or you include words in the second language when you're speaking in your native language. Um, so that kind of thing is called interference, or what they call it. Um, and sometimes, for example, people ask me something, and I've been thinking things in English, and some people ask me something, and I answer in English, and they are asking me in Spanish. Sometimes I don't know which language I'm listening to. Sometimes I'm watching television, and if you ask me if the program is in English or Spanish, like I can't answer really quick. Like I have to think which language is that, because I don't know. My brain is completely connected with the story and with understanding that he doesn't know how to answer quickly whether it's English or Spanish. And that's a good point. That's a good point because it means your brain is adapting, as adjusting to the second language. And once you do that, it's very difficult that you go back to uh, to to a lower level in your perception of languages. So anyway, the idea is to keep practicing and to keep exposing yourself to the language, like reading and listening all the time in the language. So I think that's
Something that something that happened to me is that as I learn English, I when I'm talking, I forgot the words in Spanish.
yeah,
That is so annoying.
yeah, I know, yeah, it happens to me. Sometimes when I'm translating, like I have to ask someone, like, hey, can you give me a synonym for this word in Spanish? And people just are like, yeah, that one. Are you an idiot? Yeah, it's really easy. Sometimes just go the words go away. It's one of the like if you read the studies about neurology and neurology in bilingual brains, most of bilingual brains have many benefits. They are very good at multitasking. They are good at how do you say, solving problems and things like that. They go better because they have the two languages, but they have few disadvantages, like it's called linguistic
I,
delay. I think is the linguistic delay, which is a small delay, like fractions of a second of delay, but you took longer than monolingual people. You took longer to think about words, but it's just
I
yeah,
was scared because I was thinking, oh my God, what happened to me? And I'm becoming crazy or what?
yeah. No, don't worry. It's actually a very good sign. Um, the first month that I was in London, I start. Well, the first month and a half. I think it was the first month. Uh, the first and a half month of in England. I start dreaming in English. I start
Seriously?
dreaming, and I didn't understand anything. Like I am in my own dream, and I don't understand my dream because I was speaking in a language that I didn't really understand.
It
And
used to happen to me several times. I have dreams in English. I was in those dreams speaking with people like we were having an adventure. It was crazy, and the people they speak only in English, and I answered to them in English, nothing of Spanish.
yes, yes, it's super fun. And my roommates used to make fun of me because they say, "Hey man, you were talking in English in your sleep last night. What were you sleep? What were you dreaming about?" Like I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak English. I don't know why you heard me. Like
I
yeah,
have
you
a
were. They were
I
like you
have
were.
a friend. I have a friend that speaks in English when she is drunk.
That is actually much more that is much more than a myth. Actually, it has some truth in it, but I don't think it has to do with like let's drink beer and become more fluent in English. It has to do with your inhibitions, because obviously alcohol lowered your inhibitions. And one of the most affected skills, um, well, inhibitions affects mostly the speaking, because you're afraid, you don't feel confident of speaking, you're afraid of making mistakes, you're afraid of saying something that is confusing, or missing a word, or not knowing how to say something, so you don't do it. When you drink alcohol, you lower your inhibitions, and then you lose a little bit the fear of speaking, and that's all that is to it. It's nothing else. It's not like beer makes you bilingual.
Teacher, um, sorry.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I do. Sorry, I
Okay.
don't know what happened. I
No,
was
no.
about to ask you that I don't know what does mean inhibition.
Oh, inhibitions. I think it means the same in Spanish. Inhibiciones. Well, inhibitions are I don't know how to explain inhibitions. Are in English you say that you're self-conscious, like you are way too worried about something. Like um, something that is inhibited is in Spanish you say cohibiciones. Cohibiciones. Okay. In English you say inhibition. Okay. Uh, cohibiciones.
Cohibir.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, it's the same.
Yeah.
I
It's the
was
same.
looking it on Google, but Google is not clear.
No, no. Actually, it's very difficult to explain in either language. Uh, both languages is quite difficult to explain. Okay, so what I was saying. Oh yes. So yeah, alcohol lowers your inhibitions, then you are more confident. That's the word. Inhibited is the opposite of being confident, if you want to say it that way. Um, that that's pretty much okay. I'm just gonna go back to sharing. Okay, past perfect progressive is I don't know. I will explain the grammar, but it's one of these structures that you should know, but it's really very, very poorly used. You don't use it.
Don't worry.
So it's just not very much used anyway. So anyway, but we'll see it. We'll see it. We'll see that. And I think, well, the idea is to create a dynamic conversation where we can use these sentences. So it's not just like, okay, say that. Well, I like translation because actually forces people to produce ideas. Translation is not bad, but it's better if you think in English and speak English. It's less it's less bureaucracy. Let's say, if you only have one task in your head, it's better. If you have to translate from one language to another and then speak, well, there are more tasks. So it's just simple maths. You think and you speak is faster. That's the only way you can see this. But translating is actually not bad. It's a good exercise, especially for developing vocabulary. Okay, so hmm, so so that's the idea that we can use some conversations or conversation context that forces all of us, students and me, forces to use certain structures or certain grammar. Okay, that's pretty much the main objective of these classes. Like it is supposed to be to learn or to practice grammar through conversation. So that's what it's going to be about. um Okay, past perfect progressive, perfect past progressive. What the hell is this? Past perfect. I didn't write that.
Don't worry.
He was sent to me like that. Used to. Do you know this structure? Okay, let me see. Used to.
Yes.
Okay.
Used to is um I think that we can use that structure in two contexts,
Yes.
like when you get used to something and when you used to do something. I make
Very
myself
good.
clear.
Okay. So we can say used to do and used to doing.
Like when I used to work for an enterprise and I get used to go by subway to work, something like that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The second one. I mean, this one means the same. It means to get in used to get a costume to do something. So it's something
Yes.
that has become a habit, or you can't. How do you say? How do you say this? Yeah, a costume. A costume is the best I can come up with as a synonym. Okay, acostumbrarse o estar acostumbrado. So either you can say be used to, and the following verb goes in ing. Very important. Despite the two, the verb goes in ing. So I am used to waking up early. I am used to waking up early. I have to get used to waking up early 2 years ago because I start having classes in the early morning. So I had to get it get in used to get to in used to doing in used to waking up very early. Okay.
Sorry, can you give me please 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
¿Para dónde van? Vamos a ir a comer. Ah, ok. ¿Y tú no vas? No sé. Pídele permiso. No, que ya casi vamos a terminar. Hello, I'm back.
Okay, no problem. No problem, man. So yeah, what did you used to do when you were a kid?
When I'm what?
When you were a kid, when you were a child, you were a child.
Can you repeat the question, please?
What did you used to do when you were a kid that you don't do
What I
now?
used to do?
Yes.
Okay, let me think. I used to go and play video games with my best friend and my classmates.
Yes. So did you used to play video games?
Yes.
Very good. Ask me if I used to play video game.
Um, do you use to play video games?
Yes, I did. I used to play. I used to play video games a lot back in the Middle Age, back in no, back in the last century. Yes, I don't know, 1990 something. I used to play. In that time, where was I think the top game was the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo was the best. The only game we had.
What was your favorite game?
My favorite video game was probably Mario. I like Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. In that moment because it was the Super Nintendo, and that's it. That was my top. After they came the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo whatever, I lost track of that, and that was the last time I was into games, into video games. Um, and I no, I never played video games again. I like watching people play video games though. Yeah, especially the new video games that are really interesting. The stories in the video games are just like mind blowing, like really amazing. Uh, and I enjoy a great deal watching people playing those video games. But I can't play now that my little cousin, my baby cousin, she had a an Xbox, I think, on and she was trying to teach me to play Halo. Oh, that's too much
Oh,
noise.
I like that game, but it used to I used to get sickness.
Sickness. What? Like like what kind of
Uh,
sickness?
sickness, like this dizziness, mareo. I don't know how
Oh,
to say that.
you got dizzy. You got
Mareo,
dizziness.
dizzy.
But you say I got dizzy, or oh my god, that's that's a lot. But yeah, you're right because of the movement. The first person gamers. I don't like that because he moves other ways on and I don't really know too many buttons in the control. So no, it was not for me. I was a much simpler person for video games. I really like I think the first video game that I played it was the Atari 2000 2600 2600, yeah, 2600 you can say. So the Atari 2600 was my first one. So it was just a stick. It was just a stick, one button. So the only thing that you could do is just like one button. Either you jump or you shoot, and that's it. It was very simple. And then you had the Nintendo, and then it came up. It came out the Super Nintendo, and that was the end of it. And by that time, the Super Nintendo already had too many buttons. Like it had six buttons, and plus the direction stick, plus the direction cross. So by that time it was already too many buttons for my brain to understand, and that was pretty much the end of it. I stopped playing video games from now on. Okay, so um, I am going to. That's it. There are no more. There were no more. It should be another one. Okay, uh, I'm gonna show you the last unit very quick. We ran out of time, and okay. So modal verbs. We with the other group we saw that we have the modal verbs, the normal modal verbs like must, can, may, might, ought to, shall, and I can't think of any others, but it should be another. And uh, and then you have something called the modal like verbs or the semi-modal, okay? Which are they are called semi-modals because they have the same function or they work in the same context as the modal. Like for example, have to. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so have to and must they work almost in the same context. They express obligation and duties. There are a small difference between using must and using have to, but they it's mainly the same context. It's mainly is mainly about obligation and duty. And there are others that can be interchangeable, like is the case of can and be able to, uh, which also are used in the same context to express ability or capacity to perform an activity. Uh,
Uh,
Small differences between them, but not mainly. Mainly in past, they have some difference. They have can, could, and be able to. Okay, we don't call them modal verbs because they don't work the same. Structurally, they are different. So like for example, that must like modal verbs don't need conjugation. Like you can say must and add an infinitive verbs without to, and that's it. I must go to church. I must eat my vegetables. I must come back home early, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter that you say I must or she must or they must. They never change the conjugation. They never change the 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 verb form. It's always the same. There's no third person. There is no past. There are no combinations with other um, modal verbs. What else? Yeah, that's mainly the rules. And the case of have to and be able to, I put it in brackets because they need to be conjugated. So you can say she can swim, but I'll have to say she is able to swim. If I say I can swim, but I am able to swim. Okay. Uh, and so this one has to be conjugated, or be able needs to be conjugated, and that's an advantage sometimes because for example can, when expresses ability, can only be used present. Okay, so I can only say I can swim. You can say I could swim in past, but you cannot say I after the course I can swim. Después del curso podré nadar. Cannot be combined with or combined. My God, that word doesn't exist, I think. Can will not be able to combine with another auxiliary, so you can use it in future theoretically. So what you could do is use be able to. It's a normal
so
verb.
I would say after the course, I will be able to swim, not I will can swim.
Very good. That's the way to say it. So you can use with modal like verbs. You can use them in many in all the tenses. You can use them in all the tenses: present perfect, progressive, past, future. Like for example, if I must go to church today or probably tomorrow, but I cannot say that I in the past. How would you say it? You will have to say I had to go to church yesterday. Okay, you cannot use must in past. It doesn't have a past mode. So that's the other thing. Present tenses, I don't know what to say. Present tenses, probably, I don't know, nothing. We know what present tense is for. Future tenses, a little bit tricky. We have only for future simple. You have will, going to, will. This one not. It's not for. You have present continuous as future. Okay, present continuous as future. Like um, I'm eating a hamburger later. Okay, so it's future, but I'm using present continuous. So, it's, I'll explain which difference, which are the difference when to use will, going to, or present continuous as future. Um, and also you can use present simple as future. And that's it. Conditionals. That's the last thing we have to see. We are gonna see a full an overview of conditional, zero conditional, first, second, and third conditional, and obviously the mixed conditional. Okay, have you seen conditionals, Andres?
No,
No. Oh,
no.
those are really fun. I really like, especially I like the first and second conditional. Uh,
Why?
I don't know, because I like the fact that a second conditional is probably one of the most used structures in any language. For some reason, we like to think about unreal things, hypothetical things. Uh, if I had $1 million, I would travel around the world. For some reason, the human mind likes to dream, likes to think of hypothetical scenarios.
I
So,
do it every day before getting asleep.
yes,
I imagine a fairy tale.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the thing. We are very imaginative.
Sometimes I forget that I need to sleep because I'm just dreaming awake.
Okay. Soñar despierto. Daydream. Daydream.
Daydream?
Daydream. Yeah. I daydream a lot. That's really bad.
So how do I say? So estoy soñando despierto. I'm dreaming
And daydream.
day.
And daydreaming.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
daydreaming.
I'm gonna turn on the light.
Okay, don't worry.
Okay.
Don't
Um.
worry, I can see you.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah, it's too much. Too much light. Okay, my friend. I don't think we have more topics about that. I really hope we enjoy the whole conditional things because they are really really interesting. Um.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is to what I'm gonna do is to I'm going to I forgot what I was going to do. No, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna post the syllabus. I mean the topic list, and I hope you can add or suggest new topics or vocabulary topics, anything that you want to practice. So we can work with that, and I hope in the next encounter we can count on with more.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, it's tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, oh my gosh,
But
gonna die.
remember that you are going to admit to the group of 4 p.m.
4 p.m. But it's only for tomorrow, right? Because you're coming back. Yes, or you want to be permanently
No, no, no.
in
Only for tomorrow.
only for tomorrow. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Just text me because my mind is not in the right place these days. So just write me and I'll add you. I'll send you the invitation or the link. Okay. So no worries, mate.
Okay.
Man, it was a pleasure. It was sad with Liliana. I don't know. I didn't mean to. I didn't want her to be intimidated. But if it's difficult for her, uh, I think it's gonna be if she decided to come in to an exit. She's from the other group, but the other group is also they are as fluent as you are. So if she felt intimidated here, she might feel intimidated in the other group. And I don't know. I understand her because I am learning other languages and I know what it feels to be in a context that you don't understand really. You don't know how to explain things. So I totally understand her. Um,
I do too.
yeah, but I honestly think that the only way to get better at this is just jump into the water. Just do it.
Taking challenges and risks Yeah.
Take chances, yeah. Take risk and chances. I like that expression. Yes, that's the way. That's the only way to do it. I mean, I'm not gonna learn to swim, without tutorial in my apartment. That's not gonna happen. Okay, so I have to go to the sea. I have to go to a pool and jump in. That's the only way. And the same thing, I'm not gonna learn any German by just studying grammar and practicing with my cat. So I need to
Yes.
I need to find someone who wants to talk to me, and I allow me to express a couple of things. Um, I remember the first time I didn't want to when I was in London. I didn't want to speak in English. I didn't want to go to the to the shop to buy milk because I didn't want to have any interactions with with anyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone, and I live next door to a Japanese girl, very very nice person. Japanese are very nice, and they are very nice people. They are very kind and nice, and
Yes. Yeah.
and that day there was a party from the school, and everyone went, and she didn't go. She was one of the popular girls, but she didn't go because she had to study for an exam or something the whole weekend, and she didn't want to go to the party. So I stayed there, and she came to my door and said that why, to ask me why I didn't go to the party. I said, well, I don't feel comfortable. I just want to stay here. And she said, like, don't stay here. She tried to cheer me up anyway, and she invited me to her room, and she brought a bottle of sake, which I didn't know what the hell was that in that moment, and I started drinking, and I started talking to this girl, and we talked for, I don't know, 2 hours or something. We were drinking wine, sake. I don't know. We drank
Long.
everything that smells funny in the house, and we drank a lot. But we spoke for 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours. And at some point, we didn't know which word, and we used a couple of dictionaries. But it was the first time that I spoke for so long, and I felt so happy. Like, man, this girl doesn't speak any Spanish, so it means that I've been speaking in English for 2 hours or more. So it's just the only way. You should be brave enough to take a leap of faith, un salto de fe, a leap of faith, and just start talking. Doesn't matter if you make a fool of yourself or if you don't feel comfortable, but you should actually take the chance and take the risk. Okay, my friend, I leave you because I know you have things to do there. You're a very busy man, and so am I. So I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. I hope there are more people coming into the encounters, and I hope we have a more dynamics.
I hope so too.
I'm not so sure either, but let's hope. Let's hope that more people come in. Um, Anyway, thank you very much for sticking with the
Okay.
class. You're the only one today. Stick to class, and please come back tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, I will.
So
Well, I
bye.
hope you have a great night, and well, thank you for this class. I really enjoy it.
Okay. So did I, man. So see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.